Okay, you've seen us travel on trains, in camper vans, planes, and cruise ships. But now it's time to try something a little different. We're taking a bus. But not just any bus. This is a double-decker luxury sleeper bus that's taking us all the way to Bali. 14 hours and 30 minutes on board, each with our own cozy little capsule. Dinner included, and a mystery ferry ride just casually thrown in because why not? Picture this: mood lighting, curtain-covered pods, being abruptly woken up for a late-night dinner, a very bumpy road, and one very tall Swedish husband slowly questioning all of his life choices. Now, fair warning, this trip doesn't quite end up being the relaxing road to paradise we imagined. There may be chaos, there may be sleep deprivation, there will definitely be tired faces and questionable decisions. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this one. And hey, if you enjoy watching couples mildly suffer for your entertainment, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do it for the tiny pod. Do it for the strange rest stop. Do it for Ludvig. Seriously, subscribe. If you missed the last episode, we just flew in Singapore Airlines business class. Ludvig's first ever time in business class, by the way. And then we hopped aboard a luxury train across Indonesia's island of Java. But we're still working our way toward the Komodo Islands, where a very special event is waiting for us. First, though, we're making a long-awaited but brief stop in Bali. To get there, however, it's a whole process. First up, we jumped into a taxi from our hotel using Grab. And if you didn't see the last video, Grab is basically Southeast Asia's version of Uber. But we couldn't just hop on the sleeper bus from anywhere. The bus to Bali actually departs from a city called Malang, a few hours away. So we had to book another ride, a minibus with a company called City Trans. Driving around Indonesia is wildly fascinating. The streets are alive with motion, scooters weaving between cars, trucks loaded with goods, entire families balanced on a single motorbike like some kind of a circus act. Post-minibus ride, we had a quick walk to our next pickup stop. We made it just in time before a classic torrential downpour, as you'd expect in Bali's wet season. After one last car ride, we finally arrived at the Juragan 99 depot in Malang, which is the bus company's headquarters. We got there a full hour early, as suggested on our ticket. We read online that there might be a lounge, but let's just say we chose to stay outside in the fresh air. Inside wasn't exactly inviting. But honestly, waiting out here wasn't bad at all. There was just so much going on. Traffic zooming past, buses of all shapes and sizes pulling in every 10 minutes, and then finally, our bus arrived. Here is our bus. Get in. You go past.
Why didn't you take your backpack off first?
The excitement I felt inside was honestly ridiculous. I've had this kind of sleeper bus on my travel bucket list for ages, and I couldn't believe the moment had finally come. High expectations? Absolutely. But as you'll soon see, not all expectations are met. Time to board the bus and see what happens next. And away we go. Oh, little cat.
This is the fanciest bus I've set my bum on. As you can see, we have our own separate rooms with a door. It's big enough for my feet to touch that wall and my head to touch this wall, which you can't see anyway.
I have a large window here, which of course has a curtain that pulls right across. And then over this side, we've got another little section with another cute little curtain.
I'm back. As you can see, we have a ginormous chair slash bed.
We've got a couple of armrests with plastic on top. We have a seatbelt. Oh, cool. A USB port down there.
There's a USB charger in the ceiling. USB-C. That one does not work. This one does, which is great. We have two ventilations, which are cranking the cold air, and I have no idea how to turn them off. I've tried everything.
At the foot of the bed, we have a big plush pillow. I love how everything's very much on brand. And what looks like a nice plush blankie. And in this magazine holder is a remote. Just up here is our entertainment system.
We have incline seat, decline seat.
What's nice is we were able to take our shoes off and pop them just over there in our various little shoe holders. And we've been given some lovely slippers for the ride, which is very much appreciated.
Upon arrival, we are greeted with this goodie bag of sorts. In said bag, we find a small water, a Ziploc bag, what appears to be a face mask, and some headphones. A bun of sorts. I would assume snacks. I might just pop this open right now and have a bite. It is a bag of French fries.
Ludvig is actually ripping into this one as we speak. Let's hear the verdict.
It's like a hot dog bun with some strawberry jam. Meh. Still gonna eat it because I'm hungry.
Okay, so not only do we have our very own luxury capsule sleeping pods, but this bus also comes with a bathroom and some kind of a kitchen. It's tucked away all the way at the back of the bus, behind a discreet door, like a secret pantry. But lo and behold, there was indeed something you could, I guess, call a kitchen. Kitchenette, if I were being generous. There was a hot and cold filtered water dispenser, some sachets of tea, coffee, hot chocolate, and all very civilized. But let's be real, there is no universe in which I would attempt to make a hot beverage on this bus. One wrong bump and I'm wearing scalding coffee all the way to Bali. Sharing the same cozy space is the onboard toilet, and of course, no toilet paper. Classic Indonesia. Luckily in the kitchenette, there were tissues, just in case. A couple of days before we hopped on our bus, we got a WhatsApp message, kind of just confirming everything, confirming our pickup location, confirming our pickup time, etc. And they also wanted us to choose our meal package because there is indeed a meal on board. We chose one and we actually had no idea what time that would be served. Is it dinner? Is it lunch? We didn't know. Or even breakfast.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam para penumpang yang terhormat. Di sini pimpinan perjalanan Anda dengan
The aircon, it is freezing. I'm so glad I bought this tracksuit. Ludvig's had to give me an extra hoodie, and we do have this teeny tiny mini blanket as well. That just barely covers the feet.
This blanket is obviously not made for 6'1" Scandinavians.
So if you do come in this bus and you're a little sensitive to the cold, definitely recommend bringing some big cozy socks as well, and something warm. Good news is we've got YouTube. So I resorted to the onboard entertainment system. It's basically a big screen with platforms like YouTube. Naturally, I searched us up, because if you can't watch your own travel chaos from the comfort of your own capsule on a sleeper bus in Indonesia, when can you? It felt like being inside the Matrix, watching your own face from inside a small, moving cupboard. And then I thought, let's just see something. So I searched up Flying the Nest 2. Now, I'm not saying we might be seeing some very familiar Aussie faces once we get to Komodo, but you didn't hear it from me. Big thanks to my husband, who just keeps handing me more and more clothes to place over me. We have been on here for about 4 hours, so I am still freezing my butt off, but I did go through to the front and I had a chat to the guy who's sitting next to the driver. I guess it's like the driver's assistant. I just said, do you have any extra blankets? And he said, no. And then I said, can you turn the aircon up? And he wasn't sure what I meant, so I went, very cold. And he said, oh, okay, up. And I said, yes, up, please, thank you. And it feels like the temp did go up just a very slight bit, So that's nice. So far, this is an interesting ride. It's not my favorite thing in the world. It's very bumpy, pretty hectic. We haven't had any indication of when a meal might be delivered. All I did was 2 days ago message them back on WhatsApp to say what kind of meal we want. But it literally didn't say dinner, it didn't say breakfast, it just said meal package. Ready for bed. How's my husband doing? He looks so cozy right now. I feel like I might have woken up my husband. Oh, actually, do you want to brush teeth? Okay, come on, let's go brush teeth.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kami informasikan, sebentar lagi kita akan melakukan servis makan selama.
All of the lights have come on. So does that mean we have to have food? Maybe we don't brush teeth right now. We had no idea what was being said, but a very kind fellow passenger turned and motioned for us to get off the bus. Half asleep, we shuffled outside into what can only be described as a warehouse/restaurant hybrid. Dimly lit, metal chairs, confusing vibes. To be honest, we were so exhausted at this point we couldn't fully comprehend where we were or why we were there. But we were handed a plate of fruit, a very hot tea, and a mystery dish that was definitely not what we thought we had selected when booking online. It was still good. It was still food.
Once again, the vegetarian option contains meat. This time in form of sausage.
Oh, and there was a cat. Because of course, this is Indonesia, and wild cats are everywhere. They are so cute, and it's really hard not to cuddle them. Was that yummy? Oh, you don't want that? Aw. We've got some hot tea here. That's nice. What did you say?
So it tastes like a warm corn chips.
Just tastes like a warm corn chips. So, turns out old mate might be watching YouTube whilst driving the bus. That's so lovely.
Also, if you're going to take this journey, be prepared to not get any information about what's going to happen. And then you think that, oh, okay, the food that we ordered might be for breakfast. So you go to sleep. But then you get woken up in a rush and yelled at in Indonesian that it's dinner time all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere.
Positives are that this is a very cozy and cute experience. This is something that I think we just had to do when coming to Asia. We do arrive pretty early in Bali, so I am very excited to be in a nice hotel room tomorrow though. But cool experience. Where else would you get to just be on a bus in your own little capsule pod sleeping with a whole bunch of strangers? It's wonderful. With that said, we're going to go to sleep and we'll see you in the morning. Night-night. So what we've realised is that you can turn these main lights off up ahead. You can dim this old ceiling light. You can turn that right off. But these lights here on the side, you cannot turn those off. So I am really glad I brought my meant to sleep mask. Let's call it night, folks. Just when I thought, finally, sleep might be within reach, I was suddenly jolted back into consciousness. There was yelling, there was beeping, and the whole bus was rocking like we were in the middle of a storm. Turns out we were reversing onto a ferry. A ferry! At like 4 a.m. I was there lying thinking, where am I? I frantically checked my map and phew, you do actually need to take a ferry to get to Bali. We're all good. After nearly 15 hours on a sleeper bus, we finally made it to Bali. And what a welcome. We checked into the stunning TS Suites in Seminyak, an absolute slice of paradise tucked away in this busy city. Just look at this amazing pool area. One thing that really caught our eye in Bali was the sheer number of tattoo parlors. It was like Ludvig's paradise, really. And the dogs. So many street dogs wandering around, just outside the shops. I don't think they had any owners. Hungry after all of that travel, we wasted no time in hunting down a classic Bali brunch. Ludvig found a gem. Alleyway Shack, literally a hidden cafe down a quiet little lane that you would never find unless you knew it was here. The food was heavenly, exactly what we needed. And here's a little magical moment. Every morning the streets come alive with a beautiful ceremony. There are tiny hand-woven baskets filled with flowers, fruit, rice, and they're placed outside shops, homes and temples. It's such a special tradition and a perfect way to start the day here in Bali. Well, that was an experience. An experience I will never forget.
Never. It started off really nice. Like when we got on the bus, it's like, ooh, fancy seats. We probably started off at like maybe like a 7, and then it went like to a 5, and then I went to the bathroom, and then it went to a 1. So I sat down on the toilet. I grabbed the wall with one hand, and I grabbed the door handle with the other hand. And the bus was going, so I was like, like this. And then I don't know what happened. We hit a big bump, and I was like. In the middle of my wee, nothing splashed on the toilet seat, just for information. The toilet seat started going, like it fell down, and it was like, smack, 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 whacking me on the back, so I was like, boom, 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 boom. The most hectic pee I've ever done.
I had just assumed that I would sleep really good because I love sleeping on trains, and trains can be fairly bumpy sometimes, and I feel like the rocking and the motion and the noise of a train does help me in a positive way to sleep well. So I kind of just thought the bus would be the same, but absolutely not. It is the opposite, especially in Indonesia. The roads are hectic, they're bumpy, there's traffic, there's swerving going on. There's so much mayhem on the roads that there's no way you're gonna sleep on a sleeper bus. I wonder if even the locals had a good sleep.
I don't think so. Chaos.
Yeah.
It was a funny trip. Like,
yeah. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, looking back at it, like, I didn't have fun at the time.
Yeah.
But now it's fun. I definitely wouldn't do it again, but I would recommend trying it out if you're here.
Thanks for watching anyway, and yeah, be sure to let us know in the comments, would you do this yourself? I'd love to know. I'd be very curious to see how many of you would take the chance and do this. Dress up warm if you do.
Yeah, dress up warm. Bring socks.
And I am very darn excited to share with you the next adventure. It's going to be a big video, it's going to be a big adventure, very different to anything we've done on this channel before, and it is not just us two. We're going to be with a whole group, and we're going to be meeting a couple of people that you may know and love yourself on YouTube. They're some of my biggest inspirations when starting the channel, and we're going to be doing a trip with them. It's going to be very different to any luxury trains and things that we've showcased on here before, so stay tuned till next week. It's going to be awesome. Bye!